Hi guys, welcome to my channel.
For this month's Look for Less challenge hosted by Yami, the Latina next door, as well as her co-host for this month, Lisa Burningham. These two ladies are super creative and they share beautiful projects. I'm going to make sure to leave a link to their YouTube channel in the description down below. For this month's Look for Less challenge, I wanted to recreate this gorgeous Christmas decor piece that I found on the Kirkland's website for $42.99, and I'm going to recreate mine for much less, so stay tuned. To make my project, I'm going to use one of these wooden Fibrex panels or sheet that I got from the local hardware store. This whole piece was $7.99 and I was able to have it cut down to size to 4 equal pieces, and I'll be using one for my project, so this piece only was about $2, and I'm going to use this 1x2 piece of wood. You're going to see later on that I'll be using a different piece of wood for the frame, but here I just wanted to show you that this could also be done easily using a 1x2 piece of wood that you can easily find at your local hardware store. So here I'm just going to mark it with my pen to where I want to cut this piece to make the frame, and then I'll be using my small miter saw to cut my pieces of wood. Once I have the two pieces cut to the exact length, I'm just going to place it on the sides, and then I'm going to measure the middle piece of wood by just placing the piece of wood that's left, and then I'm just going to mark it before I bring it to my miter saw to cut those pieces to size as well. With the 1x2s, I just wanted to show you that that was an easy way to create a frame for this project, but here I had some leftover wooden spindles from a project that I did this summer by cutting off some spindles of a room divider that I'm going to show you later on my YouTube channel how I transformed that project as well. But I've decided to use these spindles for my project just because the wood is already stained and it was the perfect size. So again, I'm just going to use my miter saw and cut all of the pieces to make my project. After cutting all of my pieces to size, I'm just going to use this white acrylic paint that I get from Michael's, and I'm just going to put 2 coats of white paint on this board just to make sure that everything is well covered and well painted. After the paint was completely dry, I took the wooden pieces and I'm going to use this Gorilla Glue wood glue, and then I'm just going to glue all of the frame together, making sure that they're well positioned, and then I'm going to make sure to put some weight on it to ensure that everything will dry in place and so that everything is secure as well. After the frame was completely dry, I took this piece of wooden decor piece that I got from the dollar store just as a spacing for my project, and I used this utility knife just to score some lines to mimic the initial project that had that shiplap finish to the background. So I'm going to do that using this block. I think it was the perfect sizing for the space, and I had that side to guide me to make those markings. I also went over the lines twice just to make sure that the lines was deep and that I was able to get the look that I was going for. And once I was happy with how it looked, I took this right angle ruler that I got from the Dollar Tree just to mark my lines where I wanted to write the words. And all of this I'll be doing by hand, so that for anyone that does not have a Cricut machine can also try to do this by hand. So I'm just going to put all of my lines where I want the letters to be or the words to be before I start freehanding everything. I then referred to the Kirkland's website piece that I wanted to try to recreate, and then I just hand wrote everything according to where I wanted them to be placed. But here you're going to see when I spell out the word Christmas in the bottom, I'm going to miss the letter S in the center, but I'll be correcting that later on, and you're gonna see me do that afterwards. But like with any project, mistakes can happen, and I just wanted you guys to see that as well. So here I'm just gonna handwrite that before I start painting everything with acrylic paint. I then took a black Sharpie pen that I got from the Dollar Tree, and I'm just going to trace all of the small letters, and the ones that are in red, I'll be painting that using red acrylic paint as well as a small paintbrush. But for all of the letters, I'm going to do it with this Sharpie just because it's much easier and much quicker to do so. Whenever I paint details on any project that I do, I really like to hold my pen or my brush in a certain way so that I get the most stable writing as possible. So here you're gonna see me just use my pinky to stabilize everything in a bit, and I think that really helps with any finer detail paint work that we do. And you're gonna see that I'm gonna miss the letter S in the word Christmas in the bottom till the very end, but that's how I go when I paint. I focus on what I do, and some details I miss, and the letter S is something that I miss, but I'll be correcting that later on. So again, if we refer to the original piece, you can see some greenery in the bottom as well as some berries. So for that, I'm going to use a mixture of 3 green acrylic paint that I got from the dollar store, and as well as this fine brush, and I'm just gonna freehand that and draw it to the bottom and the top of my frame. Now I just want to place my board so that I have the right angle, and whenever I do these type of bushes or leaves, what I like to do is to start with a little bit of the paint, and then you want to put a bit of pressure as you start, and then just let your paint brush slide as you bring those strokes out into your painting piece, and just add the little leaves. So I'm going to do that to the bottom and the top, and then I'll be adding those little berries using the same red acrylic paint that I used for the words. Now to add the back support piece for this project, I'm going to use the same wooden spindles that I've cut into size, and I'm going to use this hardware actually that I got from Walmart, and I'm going to drill everything using these small screws that I'm going to fasten to both the art piece as well as the back support. Okay, so here we go guys. So as I was just erasing all of the pencil marks, that's when I realized that I was missing the letter S, and I was like, oh god, I need to rectify that. So it was an easy fix. I just had to use some more of the white acrylic paint, and I painted the letters where I wanted to correct that, and I waited for everything to dry and put another coat, and I just did the same steps as before. Just handwrite the missing letters and then paint it over using the red acrylic paint, and this is how it turned out. I think it looks super similar to the one from Kirkland's, and I paid less than $8 for this project using items that I already had at home. I hope you guys enjoyed this project. Let me know if you think this project was similar to the one from Kirkland's. If it is, don't forget to leave my video a thumbs up, and I'll see you around in my next videos. Take care everyone, and stay safe.